Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1123A, and today's date is November 9th, 2016, and the title of the episode is Trump is about to learn that the economic recovery is fake and the economy is about to collapse. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, it's one day after the election, and today we saw the stock market skyrocket. And gold all of a sudden shot up. And people are scratching their heads, wondering, why did this happen? Why did the market go up? David Stockman was talking about a 25% decline in the market. Many other people were saying that the market's going to crash. Actually, we saw the market crash in Asia. We saw it come down in Europe. And the United States, for some reason, moved in the opposite direction. Now, was this to help those individuals sell their stocks by pushing the market up? Maybe. We'll have to wait to see in the next couple of days, because if it all of a sudden drops, we'll have our answer. And we can see right now that people have a new sense of hope, because we have a new candidate who supposedly is not an insider. Many people are saying that he is an insider, but we'll have to wait to see how this all plays out. But what we do know is that everything that we've been talking about, the economy, the collapsing economy, nothing has changed. Actually, when Trump gets into the White House, if he makes it that far, we'll talk about that a little bit later in the geopolitical report, but if he does make it that far, he's going to be briefed on the entire economy. He's going to be briefed on what is happening out in the Middle East. He's going to be briefed on what is going on with Russia. He's going to be told why this is all being done. Most likely he will be told that this economy is completely fake. Everything's been manipulated. And at that point, he'll have a decision to make. Go along with the central bank and the shadow government, because most likely they can't bribe him. He doesn't need the money. They might threaten him or stand up to them and realize what he's up against. And that we'll have to wait to see. But what we're seeing right now in the economy is that nothing's changed. Nothing has gotten better. Actually, what we're seeing is the economy is still declining. And we know as a businessman, he understands that, if a business is failing and it's declining, sales aren't coming in, what does he do? He files for bankruptcy. He's done this many, many times before. Well, he's going to realize that the economy here in the United States is not doing well. So what does he do? He realizes how much debt the United States government is in. What does he do? He realizes that interest rates can never rise because it would crash the system. What does he do? Because what we're seeing right now from all the economic indicators that we've been looking at, which when we look back to 2008, they were the same exact indicators that were showing that there was going to be a great recession in the year of 2008, and these indicators were showing up in 2006, 2007, and going into 2008. And there were a few that understood that this was coming. Well, the same thing's happening right now. There are a few that understand that this is coming. And we can see right now that GM, they're going to be laying off about 2,000 workers. And the reason they're doing this is because two U.S. plants, well, they have slowing sales. We see the corporate media, they are scrambling right now. And it looks like they're trying to make a case of why this economy might collapse or deteriorate, decline during a Trump presidency. Coming out of Business Insider, we see that during the Trump presidency, housing could become even less affordable, and we might enter a new housing crisis during his administration. We can see the propaganda is running wild right now, trying to explain why the economy is not going to be doing well under Trump. And now they have the perfect excuse of letting us know why the economy has collapsed, because Trump is now in the presidency. Now, of course, they're not going to do it this second because he's not in there just yet. He hasn't been briefed. He hasn't been told what to do yet. But we can see right now they are planning for this. They're always planning and they're always ready. But we can see right now that the housing market is declining. It has been for a very long time. And we can see that the situation in housing has been declining. This is why we've been following all of this information and tracking it for a very long time, because we don't want the U.S. government, the corporate media, to tell us that, oh, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the economy just fell apart. No, we can track it back and go backwards in time to show that, no, it's been deteriorating for a very long time. And we're heading into this area of a major collapse of the system. Actually, they've been planning on it. We see wholesale inventory sales remain in deep recession territory. September inventories rose just by 0.1% month on month. They were expecting to go up by 0.2%. Sales missed expectations dramatically. And we can see right now that these are all the different indicators pointing to a recession. And we saw the same exact thing occur prior to 2008. So what is Trump going to do once he gets into the White House? Let's just say he's getting into the White House and now he has to make some decisions. Is he going to keep the Fed? Is he going to get rid of Janet Yellen? Is he going to put another Fed governor in her place? Well, the first thing he should do is most likely get rid of the central bank. Now, is he going to do that? Well, we don't know, because we're getting some information that Trump might not be seeking Yellen's resignation, but won't nominate her for a second term. Now, this can mean one or two things: that he's going to pick someone else, or he's going to get rid of the central bank. And again, we're going to have to watch this situation very closely, because we can see that he's in a position now to get rid of the central bank. He's in a position to get rid of Obamacare. He's in a position to do many different things, most likely TTIP, TPP. That's completely dead. And when we look at this entire situation, we can see that he has a lot of work ahead of him, depending on which path he takes. And we can see the shadow government is not going to go quietly into the night. The central bank is not just going to say, oh, well, we tried. No, they like power. And when we look at the entire economy, we can see that the economy is continually and rapidly deteriorating very, very quickly. Actually, it's going to accelerate right now. And we can see as we come up to the end of the year, the holiday seasons is going to be a complete disaster. And the situation is just going to get worse and worse as time goes on. And at this point, if people believe that, wow, Trump is the president, there's no economic collapse, everything is fixed, well, you're in a dream world right now. This is the furthest from the truth. Things are rapidly deteriorating very quickly, just like in 2008. I mean, think about 2008 for a second. We had a new president back then, right? Did the economy collapse? The central bank, of course, stepped in. They propped the system up by creating QE 1, 2, 3, 4. Did that help the everyday person? No. So here we have a new president. The economy right now is worse off than it was in 2008. The central banks did nothing to improve the situation of the everyday person. Do you really think things are just going to turn around and everything's going to be fine? No. There's too much debt. The interest rates are at zero. We're in negative territory. Corporate defaults are on the rise. And the situation is exactly the same. There is no difference whatsoever. And we see right now that if you have not prepared, you need to get prepared at this point. Because when it hits, it's going to be a situation that looks like Venezuela, looks like Cyprus when they closed the banks, when Russia fell, when I should say the Soviet Union fell, and people couldn't get supplies at that point. This is the situation that we're headed into. And we've already heard from many others that talked about the central bank switching out the currency, giving us a local currency, having the local currency devalue. Jim Willey was out there telling us that this local currency, this new currency, is going to be devalued by 80 to 90%. There's nothing else they can do with this. They might, finagle something, but we can see right now the situation is still dire. There's nothing that is different. I know many people think that everything has changed. Actually, there are many people think that everything is going to be okay. And it's good to have hope. But while you have this hope, also prepare. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.